it takes a special somebody to go into a prison and say, I'm going to give and build the bridge out.
Right. So let me just say, my beginning as a teacher was inside the Ben Salem Youth Development Center.
Wow.
Cornwall Heights,
Yeah.
which is no longer there.
Yeah.
It was in the Chamonix, Bucks County area, all state incarcerated juvenile boys. So I share that because that's where I got my interest in education. It is in that setting that I decided to become a principal.
Wow.
Because I was a health and physical education teacher who aspired to be a general manager,
Okay.
an athletic director,
Okay.
or a head basketball coach.
Yeah.
Okay, no different than any other young person. I wanted to be involved in sports and NBA.
Right.
And I actually went back to school to Temple University to pursue that dream. But at the time, I was working at the Youth Development Center. And I would see boys, mostly African-American boys, who were physically strong, mentally strong, athletic in that health and phys ed arena, athletic arena. But in the classroom, they were meek, very timid, couldn't read. And the principal at the time, Wally J. Henson Jr., who's passed away since, when he was away from the school building, the assistant principal would allow me to serve as the assistant principal and just oversee and supervise classrooms.
Right.
So I would see this distinction between the same boys who were physically strong,
Yeah.
dominant,
Yeah.
meek in the classroom.
Wow.
But these were some smart boys. The things that they did, the crimes that they committed, horrendous, but they were some smart young men. Transition that to the Philadelphia prison system. So when I had the opportunity, the school district of Philadelphia gave me the opportunity to become the principal and the director inside the Philadelphia prison system, I jumped at it. It was a little intimidating because this is an adult setting,
Right.
right? At the time, 9,100 inmates. But when I arrived there, there were some lawsuits hovering over the prison system around education.
Okay.
So the lawsuits were about juveniles not receiving education. And who's responsible? Is the school district responsible, or is the city of Philadelphia, who operates the prison system, responsible? So I was the principal during that transition.
Wow.
And so at the time, it was true. Juveniles were not receiving a quality education. Most of the adults were receiving education, adult basic ed and GED program. And one day, I went on the housing unit in House of Correction, and I saw all these boys. In the school setting, it was a few boys, 20, 30 or so.
Right.
But when I went inside on two of the blocks, I saw hundreds of boys.
Wow.
And I said, okay, we got a problem.
Yeah.
They need education. And so I had to work with the commissioner of prisons, the wardens of each facility, and see the prison system as a community, a separate city.
Wow. Wow.
And that as the principal, I was the educational leader in this community. And so I had to make certain that the adults still flourished academically, but we had to find a way to make certain that 200 boys received their education.
Wow, that's major.
And so we looked at how we accommodated space inside of a secure facility, how teachers were assigned inside of a secure facility, how curriculum would be delivered, and how we would keep separation from adult inmates anytime the juveniles moved throughout the prison. So it was a lot of work in that regard. And just working with those individuals inside the prison system and working with the school district. There were some great people at the school district during that particular time, some great people now, but great people back then who thought about the work that we were doing and provided resources for that work, professional development for teachers and so forth. And working, we put together what was called the Juvenile Focused Correctional Educational School Model.
Okay.
It's in the book.
Okay.
It's actually a chapter in the book about it, but the heart of it is to focus on academics and not the crime. The heart of it was focusing on how you teach abilities and not worry about their grade levels. So I'm 17, but I'm on a second grade level. You know, so how to kind of massage that in, and how to incorporate social services in those spaces. And so that's what we did with a great school team and great prison team. We were able to get that work done.
That is major.
Hey, I'm blown away. I went to book.
Yeah, I mean, literally. And so for those who are seeking to even get an education, male or female, I encourage you to visit both of these brothers' social media pages and just connect with them. Because we've got to begin to have these kind of dialogues, right? Mic on, mic off.
Yes.
Have the dialogue.